Learning sucks most of the time. It drains your energy, takes up a lot of your day. It can even destroy your mood, especially when you have to learn something not only difficult but also boring. But at the same time, the feeling of finally understanding something can be euphoric. It makes you ridiculously happy, like a weekend moment fueled by endorphins and dopamine, almost like a drug. Thinking about it now, learning feels a bit like a toxic relationship, really. Still, I want to share 5 things that have been helping me learn programming, music, and digital art more efficiently. And not just learn, but work more efficiently too. I will also share my progress so far and the software I've chosen to use to create my own game. Or you can pause now and make a guess. So, first thing first. When looking for the best advice on learning, I searched for something universal. Something that works across different fields and has proven itself time and time again. Doctors, scientists, and engineers all have to absorb terrifying amount of knowledge. So I figured I should start my search there. And it paid off. First, Pomodoro technique. You might have heard of it. When you have to sit down and study or work for a few hours, maybe every day for the next few weeks or even longer, and the sheer amount of work makes you feel sick, your brain will actually fight back to save energy. Yep, procrastination. And I can tell you my brain is really good at it. Yours might be too. That's when Pomodoro comes in handy. You basically set a timer for around 25 minutes and focus only for that amount of time. You convince yourself it's just 25 minutes, which makes it much easier to get started. It's far less intimidating than constantly reminding yourself that you have hours of work ahead. But what happens after that 25 minutes? Well, you can take a 5-minute break or keep working. And after, let's say, 3 Pomodoros, you can take a longer 30-minute break. Either way, even if you only manage 25 minutes, it's still better than nothing. The hardest part is always getting started, and Pomodoro really helps with that. There are plenty of great apps you can download to help you organize and track your Pomodoros, so I highly recommend them. Second on the list, priorities. You need to set your priorities straight and ensure they are in order before your workday even begins. Start each day by tackling your highest priority tasks first. Decide what the most important task of the day is. Maybe it's a project with a deadline or an important upcoming test. That should be the first thing on your list. After that, you can move on to easier tasks with less anxiety on your mind. After all, you've already done most important tasks. Third, Feynman technique. This brilliant, Nobel Prize-winning physicist figured out the key to effective learning. Don't just memorize, like actors do with a screenplay. Instead, once you've chosen a concept to learn, start by reading the source material. Then, try to simplify the concept using analogies. Even Einstein imagined riding alongside a photon when he was working on his famous theory of relativity. Next, teach yourself or someone else the concept. You can also write everything down on paper and do it twice. First, explain it as you are teaching a 5-year-old, and then as you are teaching a specialist in the field. That's what makes you sure that you actually understand and learn the concept. If you get stuck, go back to the source material. You will be surprised how much you can learn and understand with this technique. This is a powerful technique. So far, the best one I found for learning. The fourth, my favorite, resting. Most of the real work actually happens when you rest. Even when your consciousness is focused elsewhere, your brain continues processing the problem. You've probably heard about the importance of getting 8 hours of sleep. And yep, it helps a lot. Your brain needs to be as healthy as possible to make progress. But the rest isn't just about sleep. When you spend time learning something new, especially something challenging, and then step away, whether by sleeping, taking a walk, or playing video games, your brain continues working on the problem in the background. Einstein, for example, was aware of that and took walks daily. Also, that's why in fields like programming, when you're stuck, it's often far more beneficial to step away from the computer and do something else, rather than forcing yourself to push through for hours. Because then, suddenly, the answer might hit you like a brick out of nowhere. The last one, a small group actually. Not as much a technique, but still, something most people overlook, which gives you an extra advantage. especially if, like me, you don't have any natural talents that makes learning easier. So it's about diet, exercise, and avoiding things like alcohol and cigarettes and the like. I will explain briefly so I don't take up too much of your time. There are plenty of nutrition-rich foods that can boost focus, memory, and overall brain function. These include berries, citrus fruits, high-quality dark chocolate, nuts, eggs, salmon, and avocado. Try to incorporate them into your daily meals, especially in the weeks leading up to exams or important projects, but ideally as a lifelong habit. Now exercise, especially VO2 max training and outdoor activity. Your brain craves oxygen, and exercise, particularly VO2 max workouts, not only increases oxygen intake but also helps your cells use it more efficiently. Staying away from alcohol and cigarettes, etc. isn't just common advice for better learning. It's also crucial for making smarter decisions in life. These substances can destroy our potential. So before we wrap up, I want to share with you the work I've done while learning and what software I choose. So yeah, drawing, animation and stuff. I've been using Clip Studio, Separate and Procreate, but no way I'm touching Photoshop. After seeing how Adobe has treated its customers in recent years, I'm steering clear. And since switching software can be a hassle, I don't want to get stuck in that Adobe rabbit hole. As for programming, there's not much to show. It's just me typing away, trying to understand game logic through tutorials and books. But for game engine, I choose Godot. It's super beginner friendly, but still really powerful. For music, same. I'm learning some basics on instruments, notes, chords, beat, rhythms, and yeah, with software, I went with FL Studio after trying others as well. It just clicked with me, and I loved it the most. I'm keeping it as short as I can, so yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope these techniques will help you with learning.